everyone. So my name's Jennifer Edwards, and I am the Executive Director for Falmouth Road Race, Inc. And on the call are fellow staffers, Megan Faulkner. She is our Director of Sponsorships and Special Projects. She's got a fantastic vision, and she oversees our expo and always puts just the right touch on everything to make it just right. Andrea Norris, this is her second year with the race, and she is our program manager, and she has taken on the task of handling the Numbers for Nonprofits, the charity runner program that we have. So, over 100 groups this year, closer to 180 Massachusetts-based nonprofits that have runners that run our race to fundraise for these organizations. And when we had an in-person event most recently, these groups raised $5 million for their organizations collectively. So we're very proud. It's quite a robust program. It's a lot of heavy lifting, but we're trying to keep everyone involved, especially in this time of COVID, because they've lost so many events, as I'm sure you guys all know and experience. So as much as we can support them, we are here. So. And then on our board, we have Scott Gelfie, who's our board president. Fantastic. Great.
Hi.
Yep. And owner of Gelfie's Candies, for those of you who don't live in Falmouth. Best chocolate ever.
Right.
And then Mr. Robert Bob Antonucci, who is our board vice president. And you may have seen his name on the field house at the high school. He's a former superintendent and former president of Fitchburg State, has a resume about a mile long. But in any case, it's great to have this team. And I thank you guys for being here. So why don't we get started? So our grants program, typically in a non-COVID year, we would have the opportunity to have a reception, and we would all get to kind of mingle and chat and get to know each other a little bit, bounce ideas off of each other, and learn more, about how you give back to the community in other ways. And so we were talking and saying, it's kind of rough how we just, you get it's very informal, or I don't know.
Impersonal.
Yeah, it's impersonal. And we thought we need the opportunity to kind of still be face-to-face as best we can. And still give everyone an opportunity to share, because some of these projects are pretty fantastic. And, we think that it's important that everyone, can hear a bit about what you're doing. So this round of grants, we do them twice a year. And this one, we have 7 grant awards that are totaling just over $100,000, bringing us to, as an organization, over $3.7 million of giving since 2012. Which is something, again, yes, we're so proud of that. And, it's due to the support of the community. It's just such a monumental effort for this race to happen. So without our volunteers and our DPW, police, fire, public schools, chamber, everybody is so wonderful. So it takes a village. So in any case, I am going to give each of you an opportunity to share a little bit about your program. I was kind of hoping, I'm missing a couple of people who said they were coming, but we're going to go ahead and move forward, and I will skip over people who aren't here in hopes that they join us after. So we will start with Katie Symes. Katie Symes is with Chelmsford Public Schools. And Katie, go ahead and tell us what your grant proposal was and anything you want to share.
Sure. So it's nice to meet all of you, and thank you for this opportunity, for having me speak and come to this event, even though it's not like your typical event that you have every year. It's nice to put a name with some faces that I've talked to or have talked to either on the phone or email. I am the department coordinator for the Chelmsford Public Schools. I'm a pre-K to 12 coordinator for physical education, health education, and family and consumer sciences. And my grant proposal was we have 2 middle schools. Our middle schools are 5 through 8 schools, which has about 1,600 students in them. And my grant proposal was to provide funding for each middle school to be supplied a set of 30 snowshoes that we are so excited about. My teachers are beside themselves. They're so excited. I've been looking into different activities to get my teachers want to go outside in the winter. We just don't have a lot of equipment or a lot of supplies to do that. So a couple of years ago, I started looking into and researching snowshoes and pricing and all that, and just haven't had the funding available through our local school budget to be able to do it. So when I found out about this grant, I put in for it and am really excited and looking forward to seeing our middle school students be able to snowshoe this winter. I'm hoping to put the order in this week, and they said the turnaround is about a week to ship. So hopefully we'll have them in the next couple weeks and have our 5, 6, 7, 8 grade students out there snowshoeing in our fields, which will be awesome. We have a ton of land in both of our middle schools. So it will be a great opportunity, and it's a great lifetime skill, I think, for all students in all levels, which is one of the reasons I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for
Good
this
luck.
opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And once those snowshoes are on the kids' feet, we'd love to see some pictures. If you can share some with us, either.
I will
on social-
definitely
Yeah.
share some pictures.
Good.
Yep. And
You
we're
can tag
getting
us.
plenty of snow right now. So
Love
they'll
it.
be out there as soon as they can.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Great job. All right, so next up we have Deb Rogers, who is the executive director or CEO. Deb, I apologize.
It's actually both. I have a double title. Mike Kasparian wants me to get rid of the executive director, but it's actually both. Isn't that kind of silly?
So Deb is the executive director / CEO of Falmouth Community Television, and Falmouth Community Television, FCTV, has been a very long time partner of the race, and they record our finish line, and they're great to work with. And so Deb, I know you and Tony put this together, Tony Sedera, but if you want to talk a little bit about it and share what you'll be using your grant for.
Thank you, Jen, and congratulations on your new position.
Thank you, I appreciate
really
it.
Excited to be working more closely with you. So FCTV has been covering the Falmouth Road Race over 25 years, and we have really grown with you. When we started covering it, it was really one volunteer, and that grew to, we bought this beat up van, and we had a few volunteers with people with cameras all along the way. We usually have someone on the press truck, and now that you guys have a Jumbotron, we're able to get camera shots all along the way and put that out live on our local channel, as well as streamed live. So we are at the finish line, but we're also picking up feeds all along the route. So we're happy to partner with you on that. But along with growing the race along with you, it's meant growing our equipment and really being able to stay current with our technology. One of our angles is from the top floor of the British Beer Company, where we have our main finish line camera. We can get people coming over towards the finish line. And we've had to borrow a crane for a number of years to really get a good shot. So you have kindly granted us funds so that we can buy our own crane, but not only the crane, but the monitor that'll go on the crane and everything that will need weights and everything, so we can see what we're getting and really do a good job and not have to worry about asking someone to borrow equipment, but really having equipment that we can use for the race, but also for other things like Falmouth Commodores and the Falmouth Christmas Parade, town meeting. Town meeting was held last fall at the football field, and it would have been great to have that crane at that time to get some of those angles. So there's a big need for this, and thank you for helping to keep our technology current so that we can help you. And we're very happy to have partnered with you for so many years and look forward to doing so in the future as well.
Great. Thanks,
Good
Debbie.
job. You guys do good work.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome, a couple of new attendees just in time. So Falmouth Public Schools is up next, and with us we have Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Lori Doerr, and principals of both Lawrence School and T-Ticket Elementary. Tom Bushy is here, and T-Ticket Principal Sandy Capsambellis. I hope I said it right. So Lori, why don't you start and talk a little bit about the grant, and then Sandy and Tom, you can jump in and share your piece.
All right, thank you so much. And Jennifer, yes, congratulations on your position.
Thank you.
It's very exciting and well-deserved. And I'd love to have an idea of, or steal that idea about snowshoes, but I've been here 3 years and have not seen enough snow that would give us an opportunity to use snowshoes, but you know, never know. But it's a great idea, and I love it. So that's great. The kids are going to love that. Anyway, I just want to thank the road race. We are so grateful for the many years that you have supported the Falmouth Public Schools and all that you've done. Some very unique projects that have really helped us just have unique opportunities for our students that we would otherwise not be able to do. Our budget just doesn't allow for the extra playground equipment that you've done, you know, you've helped us with in the past. The course that we just had last spring, unfortunately, haven't been able to participate on it much right now, but we will, and it's beautiful. But there's just so many things that you've helped with. And then there's the scoreboards that we have many across the district that are just beautiful, and we get to see at all times. And there were 3 components to this year's grant, and one of them was a new lacrosse scoreboard that we will make sure gets used a lot at all the games. So I just can't thank you enough. I mean, you're a great partner. You're great for the community, but you've been also, you know, just super to the Falmouth Public Schools. So I want to thank you very much, and I'll let the principals talk about each one of their unique projects of their buildings.
Great.
Sandy, would you like to go first?
Sure, I
Great.
wasn't sure if Tom was going to go.
Okay.
So at the T-Ticket School this year, our proposal was for outdoor musical instruments. So this is different than the traditional instruments that you might see within the school. This is a proposal for outdoor instruments. We have a kindergarten labyrinth outside our school, and we would like to get some drums and chimes that the students could play outdoors. So this year, actually, because of COVID, our music classes have been outside as well. So this is something that not only the music teacher could take advantage of, but all students could take advantage of. And I'm sure everybody knows all the benefits of the musical instruments, and you know, all of the children could take advantage of the opportunities that can improve their language and their memory, math, and all sorts of skills. So we're really looking forward to this new addition to our kindergarten labyrinth area.
Good.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Great. Thanks, Andy.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for letting me in. Sorry, I was a tick late. At the Lawrence School, we are trying to find, like everyone else, trying to find as many outdoor activities that people can do safely. And disc golf has been growing in popularity, and the kids are really enjoying playing. So we have the grant to outfit an entire they're mobile. You can move the baskets around. The basket is like the hole in golf, but we will have enough now to make an entire 18 hole course, if you will. So it's gonna be really exciting for the kids to be able to go through to participate in these events safely, and everyone gets their own disc, and you can do it in any kind of weather. And we're looking forward to continue to be outside as much as possible, get the kids moving, and we thank you for supporting us with this grant.
Thanks, Tom.
Yep, we're happy to
Good
do it.
job.
Yep, so many kids in the Falmouth Public Schools volunteer for this race, and we couldn't do it without them. And the teachers and the coaches and the parent volunteers. So, you know, we owe just as much, you know, to you guys. So, so thank you.
Can I just say one more thing? I've been looking for the right venue to say this. The volunteer work that the kids do with you is really impactful for them as well. I remember somewhat fondly stuffing about 2,000 hot dogs in buns when I was 16 years old, volunteering for the Falmouth High School football team. And I could say that that kind of service is stays with you for a while, and hopefully we can run it again, and I could be on the receiving end of one of those instead of.
That would be great.
The hot dogs have not been as good since you gave up.
You know,
They're not just put them in the right way in the bun.
They're crooked. They're
I think at this point, maybe Tom, you might have a leadership role in that tent. I see a bright future for you on race day.
Jennifer, confirming why we made you executive director. I like it. Huh.
I'm usually barely upright at that time, but we'll see. You know.
Funny. Well, thank you for sharing. That's nice.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. So moving on, now we have a representative from the Rotary Club that whose grant ties quite closely with the Falmouth Public Schools. So I'd like to introduce Amy Leonardi. Yep, good.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Leonardi, and I am I'm the treasurer and youth committee co-chair for the Falmouth Rotary Club, and I am the lead parent for the Falmouth Outdoor Learning project. And I am also a former educator. Mr. Antonucci actually signed my teaching license many years ago, but now I work in accounting, you know. So we actually applied for this grant with the support of the schools and the principals, some of which are on here. As you know, the New England weather is not really conducive all the time to outdoor learning. And the tents that a lot of people can get they come down in 30-mile-per-hour winds. Right. Our tents would be all over the place. And so we were actually able to find tents that are the ones that they do at the base of Mount Everest and in Alaska, and they would stand 120-mile-per-hour winds and a 30-pound-per-square-foot snow load. And we were able to work out a deal, and I'm actually happy to say we're going to be finalizing it this week and getting the first round ordered for the kids, and we're looking to do 15 for the schools, but this will help us get the first round of 1 per school for this spring up and running for best practices. And it's really exciting because we're working to tie the curriculum in across all the grade levels in the wintertime. And we're hoping to get these set up so that there can be some more outdoor learning, however the schools and teachers and principals see fit. So this will go a long way towards helping us hit the ground running, especially once fall hits for next school year. And the tents are great, and they can be put up with volunteers. With the blessing of the town, right, Lori? And which is really exciting, and they can be moved. So we're hoping, you know, with Lori's blessing, and she knows this, that we're hoping that the community can use these as well as needed. So they're great, and they last 20 years. So it's only a cost of $400 a year when you really pan it out. So thank you so much, because this is going a long way to getting us going in the project. So thank you.
Look.
Great. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I mean, the landscape of learning is changing with COVID, and we have to be creative. And so I applaud you all for putting that together.
Can I just say thank you for that too? I mean, again, it's another way that you're actually supporting the schools, and the outdoor learning is just absolutely so important right now, as it will be for many years to come, because just the social emotional aspect of kids being able to be outside, and there's just so many benefits that we're looking forward to. This may have kind of pushed us in this direction, you know, this year in the pandemic, but everything we read and the research really just shows that this is just one of the best things we could do for kids in learning. So thank you again for supporting. But I just had to add that. And Amy's been fantastic and really leading the charge. And Amy, thank you for taking the initiative with this grant too.
One little part, we have 850 service hours in with the community, including 70 students in the local community who have contributed to those hours doing these things. And it's not only going to benefit them academically, mentally, socially, all these things. We're cultivating good citizens, you know, and they're seeing people give back. And that's a wonderful thing, kind of like Tom said with the road race and this volunteer work. It's really connecting these kids to their community and to do good, hopefully, in our future, make a brighter tomorrow. So thank you.
Awesome.
Great. It's great. And I believe that the outdoor learning project or some of the creative spaces you had put together in the schools was featured in New York Times. Is that right? The New York Times? Yeah.
Twice in the New York Times and in CBC Canada, who will all be coming back once the tents are in place.
Yeah. I think that's great. Amazing. Nice job.
Very cool.
Raising awareness. All right. So next up, Mr. Black, Ted Black, who is the president of the Cape Cod Rugby Club. I first met the rugby club, rugby team when I started with the race back in 2011, and they were helping us out, 11 or 12. They were helping us out with all of the security at the finish line. And I got to tell you, you know, these were the most amazing group of guys that were just there, and they were positive, and they were just running and moving and helping whatever we needed. They were there. So Ted, thank you. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your grant?
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Apologies for being late. Hockey doesn't stop, so I am at the rink waiting on my son. So if I end up going off video, it's because we'll be on the ride home. Beyond that, no, I can't say. I ended up meeting up with the team in 2016, and I have enjoyed the time that I have spent at the finish line for the road race. I have a blast. I know my teammates have a blast, and we enjoy being able to participate in something as big as the road race, something that gets as much exposure and gets tens of thousands of people out to run it and to volunteer. It's an amazing thing. For me, I fell in love with rugby when I went away to college, tried to play lacrosse, didn't make the team. Guys said, hey, why don't you come on out for rugby? And that was really it. After that, even despite a few dislocated shoulders and whatnot, I still absolutely love the game. I've been playing it since the mid-90s. I play it now. We have a guy on the team that lives out in Yarmouth who is going to be 53 this year, and he still plays. So the support that this grant, again, is going to give to us to get equipment to help bring the club to the next level. The year prior to COVID, USA Rugby had just designated the division in which we play as a national championship rated division. And we were going to be competing on the national stage if we made it far enough. So that's going to be huge for us. The Cape spreads quite significantly. I have guys from all over the Cape and the South Shore, New Bedford, Hanover. So this is going to go a long way to not only helping the team as it exists now, but trying to expand our youth program. Our former president, Tim Souza, is a teacher in the Mashpee schools, and he has had a lot of success with what USA Rugby calls the rookie rugby program in Mashpee. And I, thankfully enough, and Mrs. K might attest to this, I got the program to work for the last couple of years at T-Ticket with about 10 to 12 kids each time we ran it, my son back there included. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to introduce young kids to rugby without the contact. You start with flags, you move to touch, and then as the kids get older, then you introduce the contact. So for a sport that has next to no equipment requirements, I think it would be a great alternative for parents that I kind of want to get my kid into football, maybe not soccer, if only there was something else. Do I have the sport for you? So this is my hope, is that I'm going to be able to introduce this to, at the very least, very soon, the Upper Cape, and expand it as much as we can, because I love this game. And like my teammate Kevin, the 50-something-year-old, will attest, you can play it until you break. So can't thank you enough for what you've done, and looking forward to hopefully being back at the finish line again soon.
Excellent.
Thanks. Good luck.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you and good luck.
Great job.
Thank you.
And there are 2 additional awards but they weren't able to be with us tonight. So just a kind of a quick review. The Samaritans on Cape Cod and the Islands, Stephanie Kelly, the executive director, their grant was to purchase some Lenovo tablet bundles for the volunteers to answer calls. You know, obviously with working from home, it can be challenging in terms of technology and accessibility. So many of them don't have access to a device of their own. And so this grant is helping to support them so they can support the community. So we're happy and proud to work with them on that project. And finally, the Waldorf School, they built their new school in Sandwich. If you hadn't seen it in the paper, it's been in the news, looks great. Emily Holmgren applied for the grant, and she is looking for playground equipment for their new school. So we're excited to see all the kids in the community utilizing that playground as the weather gets nicer. So 7 grants, $100,000. I'm very excited and very proud to have completed our first round of the new year for grants. Our next grant deadline or proposal for grants is June 1st. I typically refer everyone to our website, which is currently being built. There's just a landing page, but we hope to launch our new website mid-February. And so it will have all the information that you need to apply. If you want to share it with some other nonprofit organizations or public schools, you're welcome to do that. And, you know, everybody's been asking what's happening with the race. And so the best we can say right now is, you know, we're taking a wait and see. We are planning for and hoping for an in-person event on some level in August 15th. But we have to wait and see what the town and the Board of Health and, you know, in general, the government says that we can do. We have to wait for vaccines. We have to just see how things shake out. So we will be hosting the at-home edition event in any case. So get ready for at least a virtual, if not a combination in-person and virtual event. Anybody have anything else that they want to add before we sign off, or any questions they'd like to ask?
I just want to say that, you know, as I said before, watching you guys grow over the past 25 plus years that I've been around has been just so incredible. And the great thing is, in listening to everybody and all the grants they've gotten, is you all have not only built a world-class race, but you have impacted this community, and I'm talking about Falmouth right now, in immeasurable ways, from our schools to all of our, you know, so many of our nonprofits. So I hope that you take some moments to pat yourselves on the back, your staff, your board, because it's been just a real pleasure for me to watch you all grow and see the impact. And we're grateful for all you do for Falmouth Community Television, but as a resident here, I'm also grateful for everything that you've done for our community as a whole. So thank you to Scott and to Bob and Jen and Andrea and Megan and all of the staff and the whole board for everything you've done for our community.
Thank you. It's good. And I'm going to put Scott on the spot. Scott, why don't you just say a few words on behalf of the board?
Well, I appreciate those words, Debbie. That's, I mean, it's been a lot of work. I mean, like you guys, we're a nonprofit. We just happen to put on this big event. It allows us to give back so much to the community. But it's an important event to the town. It's an important event to us in the community. And that's why we hired someone like Jennifer to be our executive director.
Best.
She has, since she's come on, we've absolutely, you know, elevated our game. She's pushed us and the staff and even something like this. I mean, you know, we've been pretty busy lately, you know, getting Jennifer signed up as executive director. We have a new title sponsor in ASICS. We're planning for multiple scenarios in August, maybe postponement dates. And that falls all on Jennifer and the staff, and Megan and Andrea do a great job. And we thank Ryan and everyone else on the staff. So it's pretty cool what we've been able to accomplish, and we have a great board, and Bob does a great job supporting you know, the board and me and Jennifer, and he takes the lead on this grant committee. So I want to thank him for all the work he's done on this. But it's great, you know, and I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing. And I think of Lori all the time, and this, you know, during the pandemic and what she has to go through, and I can't even imagine. I get to go in and, you know, hide in my candy kitchen and make fudge all the time. So life hasn't changed a whole lot for me, but I know for a lot of you it has. So I appreciate
Laurie,
everything you guys are doing.
Laurie, do you hear that? Any school tomorrow? Or what?
I have to tell you, the pandemic has made making calls on snow days a lot
I love
easier.
it.
That's all I was saying.
Great. Good job.
But,
Thank you. Thank you for your kind
Yeah.
words.
no, but we thank you for everything, everyone. Thank you.
Yep. So thank you so much. Appreciate you all
Thank you.
coming. Let
Thanks,
you get back
everybody.
to your
It's been a great
evenings.
night.
And before we hang up, I'm going to do a quick screenshot. So if you all want to smile, at the
pretty.
camera, we gotta have a header on our thing. So, all right, 1, 2, 3.
How do we look?
Fantastic.
Oh, we're the best.
Thank you,
Sorry, you're gonna have to
everyone.
go
Good
in
night,
my-
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good job. all of you.
Appreciate it. Great
Appreciate it
job.
very
Good job.
You-
Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you.